Monopoly snatcher, Dillian Whyte, against Jermaine Franklin, 21-0 from America. It's a big, big fight for the heavyweight division. It's also an outstanding card on a very busy weekend of boxing. Now, you know that I'm quite often play our shows down, but unquestionably the show of the weekend takes place on DAZN live this Saturday night at Wembley. Tremendous card and so much to talk about before we go to the main event press conference. And we're going to start with a man making his professional debut on Saturday night. Of course, a man under the tutelage of Tony Sims, was supposed to fight on the Conor Benn card recently. George Liddard, welcome George. Big moment for you on Saturday night. Excited, ready to go. The professional journey starts on a big, big show.
Thank you, cheers. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm really excited and I just can't wait to get in there now. Obviously meant to fight last month, but had to wait, but now's the time, so.
Coming from a great gym, obviously been hanging around with, sparring with, learning from the likes of John Ryder, Felix Cash, obviously Conor Benn, Joe Caldina, Craig Richards, etc. How's that been for you, that experience in Sims's gym, and put you in great stead for the debut on a card and a stage like this?
It's amazing, having that experience around me, just, feeding off all the experience they've got. It's invaluable. Obviously the sparring's amazing. I just feel myself getting better and better week by week, and it's just going to put me in good stead for the future.
Thanks, George. Good luck for the pro debut on Saturday.
Thank you.
Heavyweight action, Thomas Carty. Thomas, welcome. Obviously under the tutelage and management of Dillian Whyte. It was a necessity. I wasn't going to argue with him about putting you on this show, but regardless of that, it's always great to have you on. Moving now well in the division. Want a busy 2023, of course. Won't get you too excited, but it looks very likely that we'll see Katie Taylor at Croke Park in the spring, summer of 2023. And again, obviously want to see your man do the business in the main event, but part of a big run of fights coming up for you now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. Delighted to be here and delighted to be taking part in such a big card. And like you said, it's looking like Katie's going to be fighting in Croke Park. And I look out my front window in the house and I can see the side of Croke Park from my front window. So it'll be a historic night, and I'm delighted to be kept busy up until that. So roll on Saturday night and then roll on 2023.
Look forward to seeing you back in action. Craig Richards not here today due to personal reasons, but Ricards Bolotniks is. This is a tremendous fight. We saw one of the fights of a previous year with Bolotniks and Boatsi at fight camp, and this fight going to be a cracker. Ricards, welcome. Ready to go. We saw you against Joshua Boatsi. The British fight fans love you. Every fight is non-stop action, and ready to go to war once again on Saturday night.
It's working. Hello, everyone. I hope with Craig Richards everything is all right, because he wasn't yesterday, he wasn't today. So I hope we will have a fight Saturday. I'm ready. Yeah, everything is all right. England, nice weather in my country now, -5. So yeah, Eddie, thank you very much to give a chance come here and fight with the same card with that kind of big guys and big champions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricards. Look forward to seeing you back in action on Saturday. As we do, one of the top prospects in British boxing, Chev Clarke. Great performances so far in the cruiserweight division. Already, in my opinion, gearing up for big championship fights in 2023. Chev, another nice step up for you. It was supposed to be a step up last time. I thought it was your best performance of your career so far. But this guy shared many rounds with Mike Perez, Masternak, Tishenko as well. These are the kind of fights that should give you rounds as you prepare for the championship battles in 2023?
Yeah, it's been good so far, and I weren't one of the guys that medalled at the Olympics, so people didn't get to see my skills, etc. But with the Matchroom and the DAZN platform, people are starting to see it now. And you said my opponent's faced all those guys. Yeah, that's all good, but he hasn't faced me yet, so we're gonna have fun on Saturday night.
How have you found that transition so far? I mean, we've seen you all action. You've walked onto a few as well. You've definitely had your chin check, which has been fine so far, but not willing to, not unprepared to stand and trade. All action, very entertaining. Do you expect just to be too good and too powerful for these guys as you move through those levels?
I think I've done all right. As you said, I've had my chin check. But, I've got skills. I can box, I can fight, and I think people will see that as we go along.
And finally, I've asked this before, but when you look at those guys at domestic level and slightly beyond as well, I'm talking about the likes of Chris Billum-Smith, I'm talking about the likes of Dion Juma and those kind of fighters as well. How far away do you think you are from those guys? Tommy McCarthy, you know, all of those guys at the top of the domestic tree in the cruiserweight division?
You know, as my coach picks them, as you pick them, I'll fight them. I don't look too far ahead. Just handle what I've got in front of me, and people will see as we go.
Look forward to seeing you back in action at Wembley Arena on Saturday night. Recently, you would have seen the addition to the Matchroom stable of two outstanding fighters, one Mark Dickinson and one Pat McCormack, obviously both trained by Ben Davison. Mark Dickinson is a guy that didn't reach the levels as an amateur of Chev Clarke and Pat McCormack, but was always very, very well regarded. It was a few months back where Ben Davison came to me and said, listen to me when I tell you about Mark Dickinson. This kid is one of the most exciting, hard-hitting fighters I think we've ever worked with, and I think he's going to go on to be a world champion. Now, when Ben Davison tells you that, generally you want to agree. We got the opportunity, and he wanted to come out and make a statement straight away. Gideon Oniomi, 4-2. This is a great story in itself, part of the Fabio Wardley gym. Now, you must be mad, because the other week you fought Herbert de Souza, the Olympic champion, and now you're going in with Mark Dickinson as well. You're ready for this, you love it, a huge opportunity. You've got a lot of support coming down. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good opportunity, you know, to fight the top fighters. You know, I like to test myself, take risks. I'm not really fearful, so yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity. And the best thing is to do is to fight the best fighters. I think that's how I'll progress in my career, and going from there.
Talk to us about that Herbert de Souza fight. This guy, you know, knocked out the Ukrainian in the Olympics, is widely regarded as one of the standout of the tournaments, but you competed very well against him. Obviously don't have the amateur experience that he does, but still gave him a great fight.
Yeah, exactly. So me not having amateur experience, when my coach told me that the fight was available, I think we got 2 weeks notice, but straight away we was on it. We thought we'll just go for it, get the experience. We wasn't really bothered about taking a loss. We wanted to go for a win, didn't get that, but we got the experience. But yeah, I felt all right in there. I didn't feel too outclassed or anything. I felt I could hold my own. And yeah, so excited for another tough fight with Mark Dickinson. Yeah,
and this man, a very good amateur, very explosive, loves to come and fight. You've got a lot of support coming as well on Saturday. Should be a very entertaining matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously with Mark's style and my style, I think it will go well to be a good fight. Obviously, he doesn't want an easy fight in his Matchroom debut. I don't want an easy fight. So yeah, I think it'll be a really entertaining fight.
Well, fair play to you, Mark. You didn't want an easy fight, I know that's for sure. You and Pat have been breezing through these opponents. Really, you need rounds, you need people that are coming to win. You've got it on Saturday night, the perfect opponent for you to come and try and make a statement at the weekend.
Yeah, I think it's a very good opportunity for me to make a statement at the weekend. Obviously, as you hear, he gave a good account of himself against the red and Olympic gold medalist. But I haven't been chasing those amateur medals. The last 2 years I've been working on being a professional, and I think you're going to see how much of an exciting prospect and how good of a prospect I really am Saturday night when I make a statement.
You've seen a lot of amateurs. I mean, you look at the likes of Galal Yafai, who had a very tough fight in Abu Dhabi recently. What kind of speed do you want to move at? I know the traditional answer is whatever my coach wants, etc. But do you feel that you want to move into 10 rounds sort of early, mid next year, and there's no reason with your ability and amateur pedigree you should be held back either?
No, I don't feel like I should need any held back. I think I'll be better when the longer rounds come in. I'm a fighter that's training in the gym to be a 12-round fighter. I don't train for these 6 rounds. I train to be a 12-round fighter, and I can't wait to show it.
Thank you very much. We go up to your stablemate as well, Pat McCormack, who I honestly think this young man, one of the best prospects British boxing has seen in many, many years. We know he's a character. Shout out to his brother as well, Luke there. These two are always full of fun. If this young man stays disciplined, which I believe he will under us with the activity and also with Ben Davison as well, I truly believe that Pat McCormack will go on and become a real star of British boxing. Unbelievable talent. I remember sitting down with him at the EIS. I was trying to play it cool, trying to not show him how badly I wanted to sign him, but I didn't do a very good job because I didn't get him. And when he went, it was one of them where I went, oh no, I'm going to have to watch this young kid for years and years, winning British titles, European titles, knocking everyone out, selling out the arena in Newcastle. Eddie, why did you try and play it so cool? Anyway, A couple of months later, God smiled on us and Ben Davison called me and said, are you interested in Pat McCormack? We weren't prepared to let it slip twice. The beginning of the journey starts on Saturday night. And this time, it's a good step up for him. It's the kind of step up he needs. A couple of first round blowouts already. This guy needs to box at a better level. He does it against Christian Andiano. Christian, welcome, with your translator there. This is a big fight for you. You have plenty of experience in the professional ranks, but this young man, although he's starting his journey, is a very special fighter.
En primer lugar, Cristian, bienvenido. Obviamente es una gran pelea para ti. Has estado muy experimentado, has tenido muchas peleas contra un gran prospecto, un hombre también. Va a ser una gran pelea sábado por la noche.
Sí, desde ya muchas gracias por permitirme pelear en esta velada fantástica. Y sí, lo estuve estudiando. A mi rival es un gran prospecto, tiene mucha experiencia tanto amateur y como profesional, sé lo que es, pero yo también vine a hacer mi trabajo, sé lo que soy yo, sé lo que es boxear de visitante con todo el público en mi contra, y para eso estoy, para dar pelea este sábado, para no hacérsela fácil, para convertirme en un gran problema para él y para... vendría yo a ser de Grinch en la Navidad de él.
So first and foremost, I want to say thank you very much. It's great to be on such a hugely important card as this against such a great prospect. I know he's got some great amateur experience and now he's moving into the professional field. But I'm also someone who has a lot of experience, and I want to come here and I want to be a problem for him. I've studied my opponent and I want to be very much a problem for him. I want to be the Grinch of Christmas for him.
Thank you, Christian. Pat, welcome. Genuinely, no pressure now on Saturday after that build-up, but these are the kind of fights that you want. This guy's done many rounds with good fighters. You've had a couple of very quick wins, but again, a fighter that should move quite quickly in the professional ranks, and looking forward to making your Matchroom and DAZN debut on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Finally on the big stage. This is where I feel like I belong. This is where I've dreamed of fighting for Matchroom, and I can't wait to just go in there on Saturday night. I've boxed all over the world. Everyone in boxing knows how good I am, what I've achieved, but now it's time to show all the public and all the fans at home how good I am.
This period where you're going through these levels and you're expected to win, how important is it to look good? I mean, I sometimes find myself sitting there saying, I want you to look good. Winning, of course, is the most important thing, and not getting hit is another one, but being exciting, looking good, and entertaining is all going to build that profile as we lead to those big nights in Newcastle.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about just getting the experience in. Obviously, I haven't went back to the corner yet as a pro. I could do with a few rounds on Saturday and show everyone what me and my coach Ben Davison have been working on in the gym day in, day out. And yeah, I'm just ready to shine on Saturday.
One thing you said to me when we did the announcement is you said, I promise I'm all in on this. You know, and I said to you, this is a short career. You get one opportunity at this, and then you're done for the rest of your life. You have that mindset now as well. You know, we know that when you're on, and you're the very, very best in the world. You're ready to give this sport everything with this platform, this opportunity you have, and go and become a world champion for Britain.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, as an amateur, it's a lot different. There's only 3 rounds. Like, as a pro, it's 12 rounds. You need to live the life. You need to be doing everything right, otherwise you're just going to get found out. And I'm ready to put it all in and get some titles. Hopefully next year we'll fight for a British title or something, and then just push on from there. Keep climbing the ladder till we get to the top.
Well, can't wait to see you in a real fight on Saturday night, live on DAZN. Another big championship fight for women's boxing on Saturday night. Anahi Sanchez against Sandy Ryan for the WBC international title, silver title, previously on the line as well. This is a great fight, and I have to give special props to Sandy Ryan for the way that she's been moved in her professional career so far. Obviously stepped up in a huge fight against Erica Farias, lost a tight decision, wanted the immediate rematch for that fight, came out, won the rematch, now fights, in my opinion, a tougher fight against Anahi Sanchez, and a much more exciting fight as well, against someone who has boxed Katie Taylor over 10 rounds, has boxed Chantel Cameron over 10 rounds, has won a world title, has attempted to unify the division against Jessica McCaskill in one of the best women's fights I've seen. I think this is going to be a tremendous fight. Anahi, welcome. Another big fight for you. You've boxed everybody in the division. This time, Sandy Ryan, less experience, but still a very good fighter.
Bienvenido en primer lugar. Has enfrentado a todos los grandes de la división. Esta vez es una pelea diferente con una persona como Sandy Ryan con menos experiencia, pero aún así una gran pelea.
Hola, gracias Eddie, gracias por la oportunidad, una nueva oportunidad, esta vez con Ryan. Venimos preparados como siempre para hacer una buena pelea, ya con experiencia, como lo decía. Y bueno, me he preparado estos meses para pelear contra Ryan y bueno, las peleas que he hecho contra McCaskill, Cameron, Taylor no fueron mi noche y bueno, esta vez vengo por mi noche y bueno, para hacer una buena pelea.
So, hi, first and foremost, thanks very much for the opportunity. This one's, I've been in some big fights, as you said. This is a new opportunity against Sandy Ryan, but I've been coming and I've been preparing for the fight, as I always do really well. As you say, I've got some great experiences behind me, the fights I've had against McCaskill, against Taylor, and against other fighters, top fighters. On those occasions, it didn't go my way on the night, but I'm prepared for this to be my night against Sandy Ryan on Saturday.
Thank you, Anahi. Sandy, welcome. Off the back of that huge fight against Erica Farias, kind of like weirdly career-defining after 4 fights to be in a fight like you were. Just seen a different person in you since that first defeat in terms of the way you look physically, the way you carry yourself as well, even the way you looked at the media workout yesterday. You're looking like an established world champion. We know you're not yet, but yeah, exactly. But the difference that defeat has made to you, talk about that. And obviously this fight, a big challenge. Anahi Sanchez, all action, all the time, been in some great fights against the very best in the sport.
Yeah, like you say, she's 2-time world champion. She's been in the ring with the likes of Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor, Jessica McCaskill, and gone the full distance. So she's no pushover, she's no walkover, and I understand that. But you know me, that I'll take any fight. And as soon as you said this girl, I was like, yeah, we take it. The way I carry myself now is completely different. So I don't see her beating me, and I'm here for the long run. But yeah, might as well stock the Cam woman, because any woman can get it.
The problem now, I guess, when you box Farias and you box Sanchez, there aren't many other levels, well, there are no other levels above that than the world champions. And you look at the division right now, Chantel Cameron has all the belts. Up at 147, Jessica McCaskill has all the belts as well. Going to be quite difficult. Obviously, I know you're focused on Saturday as well, but you feel like you're ready for those names if you come through Anahi Sanchez at the same time? 2023 is going to be a massive year for you. Obviously, must take care of business Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. All my focus is on Saturday, and I can't take any fight lightly, as what happened in the early start of my career. So I'm all focused on Saturday, but next year is going to be a very big year, and there's some very big fights to be made.
When you look at your development, there's a couple of fighters here that are starting that process now. Mad to think that this is just your 6th fight, and everything you've experienced, a defeat, the pressure of your career being not over, but in a pretty dark place if you didn't win that rematch, to really being one fight away from fighting for a world title at the same time. You probably haven't done things the traditional way, but probably done it in the way that's put you in the best possible stead, physically and mentally, for what could lie ahead next year.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you don't see other females like taking these fights early on and then regaining a loss that they take. I can't recall any other female doing that, but I'm me, and I do me, and me and my team, Cliff believes in me, and that's all that matters to me. But yeah, more people will start believing in me as more fights I have.
Well, look fantastic, ready for a great fight against Anahi Sanchez. Shout out to Sandy Ryan, of course Clifton, and also 258, done a great job to get back in the game and on the verge now of a world title shot. STN. Who did I say?
258.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry, Paul Rudy. STN, sorry mate, STN.
Are you okay, Paul?
The outstanding STN management. Paul Reedy, what a great guy. Oh dear, oh no. Okay. Right, anyway, as we move on quickly, wow, what a fight this is. I'm so excited for this fight. Nisse Sauerland, who sits to my left, Wasserman Boxing, it's a great link up between himself and Kalla. And also, we were just talking off press conference about the odds for this fight. Remarkably, you can't understand, Nathan can't understand how you guys are underdogs coming into this fight. Our guy, Fabio Wardley, we believe he's a favourite in this fight. I have to say that these fights, in terms of big domestic fights, are exactly the fights that should be getting made. The British Heavyweight Championship is so important, in my opinion, to the landscape of British boxing. It's such a prestigious honour to win the Lonsdale belt, particularly in the heavyweight division. And this is the perfect fight for it. See why it's a 50-50 fight, but it is a great fight and one that's very important to both of our stables.
I mean, first off, thanks Eddie, thanks Matchroom, thanks DAZN. It's a great fight to be part of. It is a 50-50 fight. I would say Nathan's the favourite, but I think it's 3-1 odds today. Online for Nathan to win, which in my head is completely crazy. And if anyone wants to make a bit of money on payday, lump on that. As far as Nathan goes, it's hard to believe he's only 26 years old. He seems to have been around forever, and I think this has come at the right time for him. He's had a great camp. He'll tell you about that in a minute, but I think if you listen to Nathan's story around the Daniel Dubois fight and what happened there and how it all fell apart, I know in boxing you hear every single excuse, but if you hear this man's excuse for that fight, you'll understand. This time everything's gone perfectly. He's back in a great frame of mind. I haven't seen him like this in a while, and he's very relaxed. He's ready to go, and like you said, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I obviously favour Nathan. I just thought the odds were a bit mad. Cheers.
Nathan, let's bring you in. You looked tremendous yesterday at the workout. I've seen you make a few comments on that as well. Feel a little bit disrespected that you're the outsider in this fight like that? I mean, happy with the odds. I'm sure some of your friends are as well at the same time, but you believe that you should be the front runner for this fight, and you believe in your mind you are the favourite to win this fight on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, a lot of my friends has had a lot of bets, you know. Everyone's been sending me WhatsApps. Have you seen the odds, Nate? If you've seen the odds, I'm going to lump on this. You're going to sort me Christmas out, so there's not much pressure on me now, is there? But I'm more than ready, you know, I'm more than ready. I've had a great camp, like Nisi was just saying there, everything's gone to perfection. But I do believe I'm the favourite, I'm the more experienced. No disrespect, I fought the better people, I do believe, like I know. So I should be the favourite, but at the end of the day, odds are the odds, and you know, when we get in the ring Saturday night, it doesn't matter who's the favourite, it's only me and him what's going to fight, so it doesn't really matter come Saturday, does it?
Obviously personal belief is important, but talk us through those reasons that you feel you're better. I know you two have shared some rounds in sparring right at the start of Fabio's journey, and when you look at Fabio's journey, it's quite a remarkable rise in terms of his amateur pedigree, which is quite non-existent, but has been breezing through people, heavy-handed, good athlete as well, but you believe you're better in every department than Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, I said this yesterday on an interview about Fabio. From where he's come from to where he is today, you know, white-collar background, no amateur experience, he's fighting for the British heavyweight title. That's an achievement by God in itself, you know what I mean? So, but I've been doing this since I ever can remember, you know. I know Fabio come late into transition into boxing. I think he was 18 or 19 or something like that into boxing. I've been doing this since I was 6, 7 years of age, you know. I won the national title, I got in the Great Britain squad, I boxed around the world. It went to different tournaments. I turned over at 18 years of age. This is my second time I had British title, and it's been fighting number 21, and I've shared the ring with some good opposition.
And finally, the importance of this fight for your career. We know about the disappointment of the Dubois fight, and around that time, a lot of people, some gave you a shot in that fight as well. It was a crushing defeat at the time. I know that hit hard, and there was reasons that your preparation wasn't ideal, but this is must win for the career of Nathan Gorman, and big fights domestically sit ahead. I mean, we know there's another level out there as well, but a British heavyweight title in itself, European Championship, puts you 1 or 2 fights away for some big paydays, big names, and it's must-win for you on Saturday.
Yeah, most definitely, it's a must-win for me. The British heavyweight title, like you said, it's the most prestige belt in it, and obviously being a heavyweight champion at that. But I win this Saturday night, then domestically, I think, not just worldwide, domestically, it's the best it's ever been for heavyweight British boxing it's ever been. So there's some fantastic fights what could be made there, but my full concentration is Fabio.
And finally, I will ask you, because I know some people say, however it comes, but how do you see this fight playing out? Both of you are heavy-handed, both of you have fast hands, both of you love to throw. Do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
I really can't see it going to points, but I've trained for, if it goes 1 round, I've trained for that, but if it goes for 12, I've trained for that as well. So my prediction is a Nathan Gorman win.
Thank you, Nathan. Fabio, welcome. Are you baffled by the odds for this fight? I mean, you know, you look very relaxed. You've breezed through the level of opposition at the moment. Maybe is it a little bit more hype around you? I don't know. But you see this fight as a very, very dangerous fight. You've trained in accordance with that. Massive moment for your career on Saturday. But obviously, in your mind, you are the favourite in this fight, which should be a classic on Saturday.
Yeah, of course. I always have self-belief in myself, regardless whether I'm underdog favourite, whether the odds are in my favour or not. That doesn't matter to me, and I know what I need to train for. I know what type of opposition I have in front of me, how prepared I need to be, how switched on I need to be from the first minute of the first bell. So all those things are things I've gone over 200, 300, 400 times in my head, just sat there and visualised what I need to do. So whether I'm favourite or not doesn't matter. Doesn't put any extra pressure on me. To me, I've said to other people and stuff before, like me even just being here in these type of situations on these type of big cards, big shows is a bonus. Like Nathan said, I come from white collar boxing. I started I first put on a pair of gloves maybe 7 years ago now. So for me to be in these situations, there's no pressure on me. All I need to do, I know I've trained hard, I know I'm fit, I know I'm ready. I know I've got the power to end the fight if I need to, so I just need to go in there and do my job.
People always talk about, when they sort of talk about who's going to win this fight, about the experience of Nathan Gorman, the amateur pedigree versus your limited amateur experience. But we can't also take away from the big nights that you've had, that you've boxed on, but also the sparring that you've had as well. A lot of people talking about the sparring that you've had over the years, top heavyweights. And I know they're not amateur contests internationally, but those rounds with top heavyweights have put you in great stead. All of those spars against those names, particularly recently, all come back with glowing references as well. How important has it been mixing with those top level guys in preparation for a fight like this?
Yeah, it's been crucial because, like you say, I missed a few steps on the early part of my career. I didn't have that long, extensive amateur background, so me and my team realised from early that we need to make them steps up by any means necessary, however we can. And the best way we thought to do that was to get in there with top level operators, people like AJ, like Dillian Whyte, like Alexander Usyk, any and everyone that would have me. Basically, I'd get in there. It didn't matter when, whenever you wanted me, I was ready to sling it out, and I'd always give my all in them sessions. Hence why they'd always call me back, and I built a bit of a reputation for myself as being the go-to guy for needed sparring. So I've brought all that experience. I've been able to sit there around these people and talk to them and find out how they manage their own camps and how they go through sessions and just pick their brains and use all that information for myself and build myself up and gather extra experience that I, like I say, missed on the way up.
And finally, I'll talk about predictions for the fight, but every time you have stepped up, you have ended fights early, you do have that power, you don't like to take your time. Even in the last fight, when we wanted just to get you some rounds, you couldn't help but take him out of there as well. Do you expect to win this fight inside the distance? I know it's the cliche, any fight, any way it comes, but when you talk about visualising this moment, when you visualise that moment of 300 or 400 times, like you say, does it end inside the distance?
For me, it's always ended inside the distance. Since my debut onwards, I've always finished my opponents with inside the distance. I've got power in my left hand, I've got power in my right hand. Whatever I clip you with, you know you've been hit, and I lay that on you. And once I see that, once I smell blood, it's game over. I've proved that time and time again when I've had experienced opponents that I've been in there with that have been around the block more than me and they know their way around the ring, but I've still found a way to get them out of there, landed that sweet shot and got them down.
Well, absolutely fantastic fight. Fabio Wardley against Nathan Gorman for the British heavyweight title on a huge card. Sandy Ryan against Anahi Sanchez. Pat McCormack against Andiano. Richards against Bolotniks. Gideon Oniomi against Mark Dickinson. Thomas Carty, Chev Clarke, George Liddard, and much more on a huge night of boxing live from Wembley Arena on DAZN around the world. We're going to break for head-to-heads up here, and then the main press conference will be up. Look forward to a great undercard on Saturday.